I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. On 1st and 10, Winston. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. And a first carry here for Charles Sims. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Ziggy Ansah in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. This is a nice little stretch he's putting together. Remember, 3 sacks last week.
And now he's off to the races in this game because he thinks, okay, that's the start of something big because he's in a zone. He's locked in. So offensively, you've got to occupy him. Maybe even run the ball at him as opposed to passing it so he can't just pin his ears back and rush the quarterback.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the 9th-year man out of Georgia, their quarterback, and that's Matthew Stafford.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass.
And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there's no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a second down. Now Sims, and a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back, right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the gun, Winston. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Again, they run with Sims. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Jameis to throw it. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
On the return, Dwayne Washington. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Stafford on 1st down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the 1st on the ground. From the 50, Stafford. That's pulled in by the rookie Kenny Galladay. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a 2nd time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Offense with a fumble, but they recover it, and it brings up 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Stafford on 3rd down. And he connects with Ebron. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Stafford finding his big tight end Ebron for a Lion 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Riddick. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And now the offense for Detroit.
One way I really judge a player's value is when opponents know what your strengths are, yet they still can't take that away. That tells me you're a heck of a player. And for Theo Riddick, everyone knows about his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, yet he's still the primary target for Matthew Stafford on just about any passing situation.
They go back to Riddick. And he's got this one down to the 10. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Stafford. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. And we get a peek at the defensive starters, and it's a unit that really needs to do better than they did last week.
So I would expect them to come out with a lot more emotion this week, flying around, trying to establish a new tone, because last week they didn't feel good about it all.
They come up in an offset eye. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Golden Tate, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions defense now back onto the field. And they did well down near the goal line last time, forcing him to settle for a short field goal.
And in today's day and age, settling for a field goal of that distance is amazing. You can get 3 points now, where it's going to give you only 1 point for the extra point, which would be a little bit longer. But they have to feel fantastic about only giving up 3 in that situation. It could have been so much worse.
Yeah, it could have. Now can they carry that over? And he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards for number 11. They'll run here with Sims. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll run it again with Sims. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
A play fake to Sims. Now Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ezekiel Ansah in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. On the return, it's Tate. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Lions will take over. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On second down, here's Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And there's Golden Tate doing exactly what he does well. Extra yards after the catch.
Exactly. To your point, among wide receivers, no one had more yards after the catch than Tate last year, 635. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. At the end of one, 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 more yards there and another first down. So they were able to put the pen to the paper this week, get this deal done, contract extension. And I'm sure that the coach's front office happy. He's got to be happy too, though.
He's got to be relieved. He doesn't have to worry about moving now, doesn't have to worry about not having a team. He's back with a team he's comfortable with and where he feels he belongs. Yeah, I think he feels pretty good about this whole deal.
Riddick with a carry. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. Andy Dalton, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Coming up later tonight, a reminder, one of the best rivalries going. We'll have the Ravens and Steelers for you at 8:30 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday night, another divisional matchup. This time it's the Pats heading down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.
Nice twofer there.
Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Paul Warlow, the outside linebacker, drops him for a loss of 6.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Second down, Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, it's Stafford. Room to run past midfield. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
From the red zone now, Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. This is caught. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone and touchdown, Detroit. Darren Fells, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And it's 21-3. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Ziggy Ansah in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Jameis on second down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. Third down here.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Third and long for Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Now Prater to add the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Well, they didn't really have to earn that first down, did they?
Well, they're not having to earn much, are they? Back-to-back penalties. First was 1st and 5, and now they give them a first down.
Now they run with Sims. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Winston. Well, this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On 3rd down, it's Sims, and he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Sims. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Ready.
Winston now from the 50. Right side caught by Jackson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Jackson's got it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Throw right side caught by O.J. Howard. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
On 3rd down, that's Sims. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
And Folk's kick is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Stafford looks to throw again. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Again, it's Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Prater on to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And the drive begins here with Sims. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the gun, Winston. A dump off to Sims. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's got Evans. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Jameis now on 1st down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing. And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. A 2nd down throw for Winston. Pressure, he's brought down. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break, as we will toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. That's where we check in with Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Buccaneers don't have much to hang their hat on after the first half. The Lions took control of the game, and unless something drastic changes, it seems like they might be able to coast to victory. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Lions have it near the end of 1. Stafford's got the completion here, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. They're now on top by 4. Now 1st and 10. Riddick's going to look for a gap, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. Midway through the 2nd quarter, the lead now at 11. Stafford's going to find his mark, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. Lions go up by 18. Now midway through the 2nd. Here the defense will come up with the pick. Lions will end up returning it for a touchdown. The Lions up now by 25. Final seconds of the half. Stafford's on target here, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. Lions push the lead to 29.
That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the 2nd half. Brandon.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now the second-year man from South Dakota State, it's Zach Zenner. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
They go again now with Zenner. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. Working out of the gun, Winston. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Quentin Coples in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
There we go with 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Stafford. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I'm not sure how much I really love that call. It almost seems like a little bit of a give up there. But maybe what they were thinking is we've got a chance to pop one. They think we're just going to give up here, hand it to the big man, and maybe he can get through. Sometimes there's a little bit of courage in play calling that maybe we don't give enough credit.
Now it's Tate. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own. Territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. He needed 2. He got 1. And that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Around the NFL, they've gone to the 3rd in Cleveland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Cody Kessler with 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Caught right side, Tate. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Now Stafford, and a little floater there is incomplete. So the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? You got to try to go with the quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Here's Riddick. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Pressure, he's brought down. Haloti Ngata in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Second down, Winston. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
To throw is Winston. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Over the middle to Evans. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And Detroit getting set to go now. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when...
Now the ball comes loose. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Jameis to throw it. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Jameis on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it's third down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Third and long for Winston. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Here's Stafford. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he connects with Ebron. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now Riddick. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Chris Baker coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Play action. Stafford. He completes it to Tate. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
On the carry, this is Zenner. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. A handoff as they run the counter play. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. They'll run here with Zenner. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Now a handoff looking right, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger.
And it's a fumble. Oh, that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Well, he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 9. And to give this time to the tailback. And he coughed it up. And the Buccaneers have it. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Now a second down throw for Winston. And that one drops to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
On third down, Winston. Evans has it left side. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. On 1st and 10, Winston. A dump off to Sims. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. One last shot now for Winston. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Detroit, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long from Tampa.